Grand Rising, Grand Rising. I greet you with love and light and oneness to the collective. It's a bright sun this morning, isn't it? I tried to get out here a little bit earlier since I've been up all night. Well, I've actually been up for over 26 hours. I'm going through another one of those phases. I guess for the past 3 days or 3 nights, I really haven't gotten that much sleep. And I'm pretty sure that, the full moon could have a lot to do with that. With the summer solstice and all that going on. There's a lot of things that are happening spiritually. And I'm beginning to adjust to a lot of this. In the beginning of this year, it was kind of rough on me. My dad transitioned in March, and it was a pretty tough situation. But I understand, that these avatars or meat suits or whatever you want to call it, they don't have an eternal or an eternity on this planet. We are star seeds, and these bodies are on loan, more or less. Something that's necessary for us to abide in these dimensions, the third dimension. But I'm thankful and grateful to all of the content creators that I have been listening to, getting a lot of good information. Not only that, I'm studying metaphysical science from the University of Metaphysics, the University of Sedona, and also Hidden Power University. And it has been life-changing for me, the information that I'm getting, and it's like I'm constantly learning something new. It's like I gotta play catch-up. Right now, I'm in my 60th solar return. September, it will be my 61st. And I have much gratitude for that. In the beginning of my journey, it was like so much stuff was piling up on me, and I was like, wow, this is really, really crazy, all of the information that I've been running into. And I've more or less been searching and seeking my entire life. I can remember in my childhood different things that took place that no one was really able to explain other than these notions that they were taught. But now I have a greater understanding on the things that I'm experiencing. And I have a lot of people that have been putting out information to help me. But then, so you've got to know how to eat the fish and spit out the bones. Because some of the information is half-cocked. But, those that have information that resonates with me, I stick with them. And it has become quite helpful in my journey. Although, like I said, I didn't come into what they may call consciousness, or I'll say elevation of my frequency, and understanding that I'm not this avatar, but I am a starseed, and I'm using this physical meat suit in order to more or less navigate through this third dimension, you know. But I can remember as a child so many different things that I've been through, and a lot of different things that I experienced, and then I hit this spot where I was, you know, dead, so to speak. And I would say that in a mental sense, because I had stopped seeking what it was that I was looking for. You know, I got out there and I got kind of lost in the different things. You know, it's easy to get sidetracked, you know, and get caught up in this matrix and trying to be people pleasers, and then seeking and trying to obtain more materialistic things than those of the spiritual nature. And now I understand that there's room for both. You know, I understand that there's room for prosperity. And a lot of people take it wrong when you talk about prosperity. They think it's all about money, but it's more than money. You know, it's the abundance of joy, the abundance of life, the abundance of good health, you know. And I'm thankful, you know, for so many things that I've learned through the years. But it's been like these last 5 or 10 years that I really gotten into this space where I understand now really what's going on. And you know, in the beginning when I started learning this information, I was kind of like getting pissed, because I'm like, you know, really? I mean, I saw it. You know, I come from a Christian household, and you know, it was like one of those things growing up, you had to go. You know, there was no option in it. You know, my mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother especially, you know, I was her favorite out of all of her grands and great-grands, because for a good portion of my early years, you know, I lived with her. And, you know, there's so many memories that I have from, you know, before the age of 5. And I blocked a lot out, but, you know, through the years, I've been seeking, and it's always been on that Christian path until I got involved in Islam. And I began to see a little bit clearer. But that was in Orthodox Islam. I left there. I traveled for a bit with the knowledge of the 5%ers of the Nation of Gods and Earths. I gathered some good information there, which I found out that information, it had a good percentage of it came from the Nation of Islam. So I took that route, and taking that route gave me a lot more information, but it still wasn't quite striking the nail on the head. And I ended up going back the Christian route, and not just I say that sense of being hocked up on Jesus juice. No, the organization that I belong to, the closest thing to what they were teaching was very similar to the Nation of Islam in so many ways, but it still had that, you know, that Christian feel to it. And the more that I studied this path that I'm on now of pure spirituality, I really had no peace. And now that I'm here, understanding fully everything that I questioned in the Bible, and I questioned the different ministers that I was under, and I myself being a minister at one time, I still knew that there was something that just wasn't right. But now I find out that really all this is revisiting old systems of spirituality. You know, there's always been from the knowledge that I have, there's always been a setup of the Trinity, so to speak. And whether it be the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, whether it be man, woman, child, or what have you, they all coincide. And there's a lot of keys that are in that book. You know, one of my professors that I study under is Nazir Ra, the Hidden Power University. And the crazy thing about that is that when I first started watching metaphysical videos, and you know, YouTube does this thing, you know, they're watching your content, what you're watching, and they start to suggest videos for you to watch. And you know, I went over and I would check out his channel, and I was like, I can't. And I deleted his channel once, and then I went back. And I'm like, why am I back over here again? It was because that was, there was information to be gleaned from there. And I'm grateful that I did go back and start watching more of his content. And it's been very helpful, very, very helpful. And I can't leave out Black Magic 363, who has a variety of guests on his platform. And it's very eye-opening with all the different people that come across his platform. And the one thing that I like about it is the brother is very unbiased. You know, he's a journalist in the true sense of the word. And, you know, I feel like the brother's very, very spiritual in his walk. And, you know, he's learned a lot. And I'm pretty sure I've got this brother by at least, I want to say at least 2 decades. And the funny thing is, a lot of the people that I follow, they're younger than me, and that's in this dimension. But I know that I've been here, like I said, at least 4 times, 5 times, maybe more. But from different memories that start to pop up, you know, and then that feeling of deja vu. You know, I've done this before. And I'll say back in 2002, my sister and I, which I'm 12 years older than she is, we stumbled across this website called The Reluctant Messenger, and it has some outstanding information on there, and it really like blew my mind. It blew my wig back. I'm like, okay, I can vibe with this. I can rock with this. And you know, I went on from there, because during that time, I don't think YouTube was really rocking like it is now. And, you know, like I said, once I got on there and I started following Black Magic 363, and then I followed a couple of people, and I linked up with the Ascendant Infinite Goddess Chanel, that's my girl. I mean, she be putting it down, and it's like she's never failed me yet. Whenever she puts something out there, there's something, even if it's only one or two words that she says, it vibrates with me. You know, so I rock with her. You know, and you know, there's just so many other people names that I can call out. You know, that I've watched. And I find that there's a lot of people in the conscious community that rocked with Bobby Hemmett and Brother Panic and Dr. Clark, Professor Small. You know, it's just a plethora of teachers out there that had this knowledge. And I'm like, wow, how did I miss this? You know? And like I said, I was kind of angry at first when I started getting this information. And I was like, so late in life. But I really came online during the winter solstice of 2021. And that's when I started to take things a lot more seriously. And doing my intermittent fasting and, you know, meditations, which I gotta think, I most definitely have to thank Chanel, the Ascendant Infinite Goddess, for putting me on with that. And, you know, it's just been great, you know, understanding now. And at first, you know, when you come into this, you just want to tell the whole world, you know. But I learned you can't do that. You know, people start to look at you strange, like, what the hell is this guy on? But I learned that not everything is for everybody, and what's for me is for me. I don't judge anybody else for their beliefs, and you know, anybody that judges me, I really don't give a damn. You know, but you know, I'm very grateful to have come across the different people that I have. You know, and they put information out there. You know, that has helped me in one way or another. You know, either I found out they were full of shit, or that they were for real. And I'm very serious about my journey. And you know, I've been wanting to do this for such a long time, as far as getting out here, making some videos and sharing my experiences that I've had, you know, while on this path of enlightenment. And you know, I think a lot of people look at me. I changed the name of my YouTube channel a couple of times, but now it will remain as such, Ramon Tariq Ra, because that resonates with me. You know, if you know about the content of names, you know, a good name is better than gold in some cases, you know. And I take pride in the fact that I found a name that really resonates with me. It is who I am, you know. Rahman, the merciful; Tariq, mystical seeker of knowledge; and Ra, of course, we know that is the divine source of light. If there were no sun, there would be no life on this planet. But I'm grateful. I am so grateful that, you know, I watched a video, I think it was yesterday, I watched a video that the Ascendant Infinite Goddess did. And it was pertaining to, you know, You stop procrastinating. Because the way that things are going now, you need to have something, uh, you know, do for self. Don't depend on anybody else. You gotta, like Goody Mob said, they had this song, you gotta get up, get out, and do something. And that's what we need we need to do this. Because of the way that things are going now, you better have some rams in the bush. And have some type of backup. And I mean multiple streams of income, not just one. So I dibble and dabble with a lot of stuff. Invest in the stock market, crypto, and I buy actually physical gold and silver. And because there's going to come a time when if they shut the, if we ever have if the grid ever crashes and fiat is wiped out, and they put us on a digital system where we're trading credits instead of having something tangible to trade with, they can hit a switch and wipe you out. But with that understanding, I know that I have to have different avenues to make sure that I've got the money coming in. And I'm thankful and grateful to so many people who have reiterated that to me over and over and over again, and especially in the nation of Islam. It was a thing that freedom, justice, equality, and independence. And a lot of people, they'll work for themselves, but they're not really serious about it. They're not very serious about it, but I am, because I'm looking to the future. And see, now most Christians, they're caught up in this thing, take no thought for tomorrow, for the things of tomorrow will take thought for themselves. Yeah, okay, sit back, wait on that. Not only do I think about tomorrow, I think about the day after that, the week after that, the month after that, the year after that. You have to have a plan, and as I'm doing my shadow work and I'm journaling and keeping account of the accomplishments that I've set out to make, those goals that I've set out to make and that I have accomplished, I mark those off the list. And the thing that really blew my mind away is when I met my wife. I had no intentions of getting married again, and we were just friends. And for some reason, for 3 years, there's something about it that I was like, okay, I said I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not trying to get involved seriously with anyone. But I soon learned that we have a past together from another lifetime, or a few lifetimes. And it took me a long time to find her. I had to go through a lot of disappointing relationships until I finally found her. And I'll say we found each other. And she was really hopped up on Jesus juice, and still is to a certain extent. And I have to let her know that that guy never existed. He's made up. And so she's coming around now. She's starting to understand better about what these preachers are preaching. It's entertainment. It's entertainment. In a lot of these places, a lot of these churches, you can't get a minister's license or become a minister in certain church organizations unless you have a degree of some sort, especially in the arena of religion. Whether you do a basic study of the history of religion, or if you're studying under a certain religious heading and using the dogma from that specific organizations, it's the foolishness of men that they feel like, okay, in order for me to know God, which by the way is just a title, we all are gods and goddesses, as we find in the book of Psalms, which is a very magical book, by the way, a book full of spells. And but in the book of Psalms, chapter 82 and verse 6, it says, "Have I not said that ye are gods, that ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes?" And even in the writings of that were attributed to this man that didn't exist, Jesus. At that time, his name was not Jesus, because the J is only 500, maybe 600 years old. If he's supposed to have been here over 2,000 years ago, his name quite naturally could not have been Jesus. So, it was either Yeshua, and I've heard some pronounce it as Jesus, and I've heard some say that it's actually attributed to the divine feminine, and it is actually Isis. So, there's many different schools of thought out there. So I take in a lot, and like I say, I eat the fish and spit out the bones. And what resonates with me is what I rock with. And I'm at the point now where I can't even set foot inside of one of those buildings that they're calling a church. If they really understand, you are the temple of God, and the Spirit of God dwells in you. So we collectively, as a whole, are God, with the big G. But on a singular, there's a small G. But nonetheless, that's my belief. That's the way that I see it. And, this unity thing is very, very, very important for our uprising. The unity, coming together in a oneness of consciousness, and not having any quarrels with any man for what they believe in. As long as you don't try to force your stuff on me, hey, rock with what you rock with, and I'm gonna rock with what I rock with. And my wife knows that, and she's slowly coming around. She's understanding, but I don't stop her from what she, if she wants to go to church, okay. But understand that I'm not going, or what you call going to church. I had to explain to her, that, hey, you are the church. In every sense of the word, you are the temple of God, and He has placed His Spirit within you. And just like even one of the writings that they attributed to the things that Yeshua did, was he flat out told you the kingdom of God is within you. It said the kingdom in another place. He said, The kingdom of God is like a man. So there's keys that are in there. So that's why I say, you know, eat the fish to spit out the bones. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I still use my Bible. I use my Quran. I use a lot of, I use the holy tablets written by Malachi Z. York. I use El's Torah by Malachi Z. York, and a lot of his other publications, you know, along with, you know, information from the studying that I'm doing now towards my bachelor's degree in metaphysics. And, you know, the thing that I like about that is it's not dogmatic at all. Not at one bit, you know, but it does give you the understanding and the knowledge that God sits in the center of your brain, as we may know, the pineal gland. So our consciousness, once we come online and we realize who and what we are, you know, you've got to really do your due diligence to study, you know. And I've gotten to a point now where, you know, my family has very little to do with me, but that's okay. I still love them regardless, you know, because there's that tangible thing that we have while we're in this physical body, you know. And but I'm glad that I got over a lot of issues that I had, you know, with my family. You know, I've been through a lot of things with them, and I got treated like shit. You know, and I got to the point now where I'm like, I can give two shits about it. You know, I'll tell them straight up, you know, hey, I love you. Ain't a damn thing you can do about it. You know, but at the same time, I know that all skinfolk ain't kinfolk. And being from your bloodline doesn't make you family. It just makes you a relative. You know, the people that I've come to learn to respect and rock with, that's my family. You know, the different people that I rock with, that I resonate with, that's my family. My spiritual family is more important than the fleshly family, because this flesh is going to go back to the earth sooner or later. And it's like I told my wife, I'm like, hey, when I pass, don't waste money. You know, I've got my insurance policies in place. I told her, don't waste money on a funeral. That's the same thing that my dad told me to do. Don't waste money on a funeral. And I really wanted to give him a funeral, but he told me, don't waste money on that. Have me cremated. But it was just the way that he said it. He was like, just throw me in a box and burn me up. And I'm like, really, Dad? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I'm not buying that, you know. But when it came down to it, it kept coming back to me over and over and over, because he was like, take that money and do something constructive with it. And that's what I did. I followed his last wishes. And he knew when he was leaving, you know. On the morning that he died, my last words with him was like 2:30 that morning. And I told him, I said, okay, Dad, I'm getting ready to go lay it down now. So if you need me, just give a shout. And he told me straight up, that's if I'm here in the morning. And, you know, while my wife and I were preparing him for bed, he was like, you know, I heard him mumbling. and he was facing her, and I was on the other side of the bed. And I asked him what was he saying, and she said he's praying. And I knew right then. I said, okay, he's prepping for his departure. You know, he knew it was time. It was his time. And you know, he was just under so much stress that it was unreal. He married a woman that was younger than my wife. My wife is 57. Okay, I'm 60. That's in these 3D, in this third dimension. You know, that age. I know I'm much older than that. You know, but you know, she really came into my dad's life, and my dad was 79 years old when he passed. And this woman took advantage of my dad. But, you know, no matter what I would tell him, you know, I said, well, it's your life, and you know what you have to do, and it's all on you. So, you know, he put me in a position to take care of all of his last wishes, and to take care of his dog, which he just had gotten a German Shepherd puppy. And when he got it, it was like 6 months old. It was born on Thanksgiving Day. And last Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving, before his pup turned a year old, that was when he went into the hospital. And he found out that he had pancreatic cancer. And, you know, I can tell when the doctors gave up on him, when they took away all of his medication, and the only thing they were giving him was vitamin D, his iron, some Nexium, and oxycodone. So they were just trying to make him comfortable for his last days, for his last few days. And when he came home from the hospital, they were supposed to be bringing a hospital bed, because he doesn't like sleeping in a regular bed. You know, he sits up. They never got the bed there. You know, so, but I look at that and I see how prepared Dad was. He stared death right in the face and said, hey, it is what it is. And a lot of us look at death as if it is the end, but actually it's just the beginning. And hopefully we won't have to come back to this place again. So, you know, I do what I do here, and I make the best of it, and in hopes that I don't have to come back. You know, but in the beginning, you know, I was like, I really caught on to this so late. I don't know. But I know I was reassured by someone. Well, we're in a quickening. You can catch up. Thank you, Chanel. Thank you for, you know, putting me on my job and let me know, hey, I got to get the ball rolling and get on it. And, you know, I'm real serious about my walk. And, you know, there's a gathering that's taking place down in Stonecrest, Georgia in August. And I really wanted to go. It's an event that Brother Rich from Black Magic 363 put together called the Gathering of the Masters. And I mean, the roster that he has is coming is like out of this world. And he made it affordable. $111 for everything that's going to be going on. And I'm like, man. But due to, you know, some health reasons, I have a couple of ruptured discs in my back between the fourth and fifth lumbar and the fifth lumbar and the S1. So, you know, I stay in pain a lot. But, you know, it's just, I guess it's just when I get, the older you get, you know, this machine starts to break down. So that's why it's very important to take good care of yourself. You know, maintenance is such an important thing. I'm getting a little break from the sun right now. It's hiding from me right now behind those clouds. It feels so good right now. It's like about, I guess it's in its 80s. I haven't really checked the weather yet. But, you know, I'm enjoying this. And, you know, just hopping on here to talk about some things and just, you know, release some things that are going through my mind and things that I've been meditating on. And I know a lot of times when you listen to my videos, I'm all over the place. But for some reason, I just have so many things in my mind. It's like I've got like literally a million thoughts going through my head at one time. And sometimes it's like it's you really can't understand what's going on because there's so much happening, and so you're hearing so many different things. But I've learned for a better part to block some of that out and slow down and take my time. But there's so much that I want to share, and I say every time, you know, I jump on here, it's like an impromptu, and that's not what I mean for it to be. It's like I just came out to get some sun, and I was like, oh, let me make a video. And that's great. That's partly due to the message that Chanel, the Infinite Goddess, the information that she put out yesterday, you know, as far as concerning the solstice and the full moon. And I'm like, you know what? I gotta quit just saying I'm going to do this and do it. But, you know, as time goes on, I'll get a little bit better with what it is that I'm trying to do and stay on point, stay on topic. I'll have a real topic for you guys instead of just rambling on and on and on. Hopefully, I've said something that might interest someone or might help someone to understand what this place is. You know, that we're living in a holographic matrix, and what we see is what we project. You know, as within, so without, as above, so below. You know, and you know, it is what it is. So I take each day for what it is, and I wake up in gratitude, even though I haven't been sleeping past like 27 hours now. But, you know, and the night before I think I got like 3 hours of sleep. But, you know, I'm pretty sure that has a lot to do with where we at right now. You know, a lot doing with the summer solstice and the full moon. There's just so much energy. I've got hella energy. I feel like I can fuel a damn jet plane right about now. But anyways, if anybody sees this, you know, I hope I said something that interests you. And as time goes on, I'll get better. You know, this is just the beginning. So I'll say for now, love and light and wholeness, oneness to the collective. Peace.